Welcome back to the Nolan Build Shop. Today we're going to learn how to turn this paint cart into a router table cart. Alright, so the first part of this process, like any process, is to design it. I designed this in vcarve Pro, and basically the CNC is doing a pocket path right now, and it's leaving me 1 inch of a pocket around so that the plexiglass can sit in there. The depth of this is 0.212. The plexiglass depth is 0.205. And now the CNC is cutting out parts for the fence as well. We just got this off the CNC, and what this is a router table setup jig type of deal. So it's going to be a tabletop for the router jig. I already have my router over there that has a plexiglass, so I just measured that and then created the code here for that to sit down in, and then made me like a little fence to be able to use. So we're going to get this guy all put together and then talk some more about it. It fits in this way and it fits in this way, but our corners on our teeth here aren't rounded over, and this one is. So I got two options. I can either round this over or chisel these out. So I'm gonna round these over with the sander real quick, and then we're gonna put this guy in here. How she fits in. Oh yeah, nice and snug, and the depth is good. Now when I measured this, I measured at 0.205, but I put a piece of playing card on there and got it at 0.212, and that gave me that little bit of error proof to be able to make sure it got down there smooth. So now that that is set, we can move on to assembling, putting this on the actual cabinet box that it's going to go on. This is the cabinet box that we're going to place that on. As you can see, this has been a number of things. It started out as a mosaic practice piece, never really used it. Then I turned it into a table to cut tile on. Then I turned it into a table to paint on. So I'm going to take this paint top off and put the router table on so that we can use this for something better than just a paint stand. I got plenty of sawhorses and things of that nature that I can use for a paint stand. Yeah. Right, let's see what we got. Now I have already lined up my marks here to where I want it set at. So now all I gotta do is open the clamp. Right. All of those are below the surface. We are good to go. Let's see how this guy goes in here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now let's pre-drill the actual plate. All right, so we're about to assemble our fence. Basically 2 pieces that were cut on the CNC. I cut out 2-inch holes on the CNC as well to allow for the bits to come up through. And now, before we assemble this, I want to make sure I got some bracing here to make sure it's square and sturdy. So basically I took the offcut from inside of here, struck out 3 inches above 3 inches, and struck out some 45-degree angles. And basically this short run from here to here is 3 inches. This one is 4 inches, but I just took the 3-inch, the shortest run, and we're gonna make a brace here. So I'm gonna cut these over at the miter saw, and then we're gonna assemble this fence. So now we have our fence put together, and we have checked for square. We're good to go there. Now we are going to take this bottom edge here and run a small chamfer on it so that the dust won't pile up on that bottom of the fence and create a uneven work surface when you're sliding your pieces through. So let's do that real quick, and this guy will be done. Alright, so here we have it. Our quick and dirty little router table jig. And basically this fence goes on here like this. I left overhang on both sides specifically to be able to clamp down the fence so that it won't move. No real fancy, jigs or anything, just a couple of clamps, fence, router bit comes through, and we should be off to the races now. The most thing I need to add to this now is some dust collection, but I might get to that later. Right now, this is going to be useful for me because I don't want to change bits for doing raised panel doors. So I have one old school router table, and then I make this one, and then I have the shaper for the large bit. So we're going to have 3 setups and be able to go through all of the profiles I need for the raised panel doors and not have to switch out anything and reset up anything. So this is going to help me in my workflow. This is why I made the video, and this is why I made this. So now let's get to work. Let's use this guy. All right, so I decided to make dust collection after all. So basically I got a couple of pieces here. I have this center hole. It's a 3-inch by 3-inch piece, and I drilled out a 1 3/8 inch hole for basically your dust extractor attachments. This is a Festool one, but it also fits the fine one as well. And so now I will be able to assemble this guy like so, and then attach it to the back of that fence, and then we'll have dust collection. So let's do that. All right, so now fence is on, dust collection is on there. Now I should be able to just take my dust extractor, hook it up like so, and have dust collection on top, and the router has its own dust collection down below. I probably eventually would need to make some type of Y branch so that they can be both work in the same sense, but for right now This is what we got. And if I'm not mistaken, should be able to just do it this way too. So, perfect. All right, dust collection on. Steps back. This hole here that I used initially for a smaller bit, it's not going to fit the raised panel bit that I need for doing my 5-piece shaker doors. So in order to enlarge this hole, I was going to take the Forstner bit 2-inch to the drill press, but the drill press didn't have a deep enough throat to get to that hole, to get the center of that hole. I was gonna try with the drill, but I knew that was gonna be sketchy and probably not good at all. And then, ding, came with the idea once I marked my center mark that a hole saw might actually do it. So we are going to try this with the hole saw, hit my center point, try to drill this out to a 2-inch hole and make this be able to work for my raised panel bit. This is not 2 inches, this is more like I think 1.5 inches or 1.375 or something like, no, 1.75 is what this is. So we're going to enlarge this hole and try to get this thing put back together and working. Success. Damn. Yeah. All right, so now we have our hole enlarged. We are going to clean this up with a file. And get it put back on. All right, so now we are all reassembled and bam, we are good to go now. All right, guys, we got one additional note here. You may notice that this used to be a half round. Well, you can see that the router bit set that I'm using, that I'm intending to use, was too tall for that. So I basically cut it out with my oscillating tool and then chamfered the edge. I also cut out the bottom so that the fence can go up and be able to meet up with the bearing. So that is one modification that I did. The 2-inch hole was a good starting point, but not a tall enough venture for the router bit set that I was using. All right, guys, it's a wrap. As far as I'm gonna go with this guy today, And I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And until the next time, later.